welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and we're back with another one of those patterns where I just kind of wing it and see what I come up with. Again, this is 8 colors, but this time around I doubled up the strings, which does save time. The other single-stranded ones were taking me around 2 hours. This one was about an hour and a half, maybe just slightly more than an hour and a half. So less time. I mean, it's still, they take time. That's just a reality. But this one turned out really, really nice. It's got so many zigzags going on in it. It makes sense in the aspect of I wanted to have a particular shape built into the bracelet and have it repeat in different places just for the congruity of it all. But then the actual making it and trying to fit this into actually making it happen turns out that it's really difficult. This is perhaps one of the more advanced bracelets that I have put together as of late here. Just because there's so many zigzag knots, and you might not know this, but if you have a zigzag going here and another one on the other side at the same time, you leave like a little hole in between the two, because normally one string is coming across, the other string is going the other direction. That kind of cinches everything together. But add too many zigzags and it starts to kind of not be held together in the same kind of way, and as a result it can get a little sloppy. Even if you're really, really good at what you're doing, it can get a little sloppy. Mind you, I think I did a pretty good job. It turned out reasonably nice, but it definitely ups that whole skill factor, and as far as like the difficulty factor. So yeah, I mean, it turned out it's pretty cool. The shape is basically a diamond with a little lump on the top, but you can see them starting to form here in the red. And I tried to make that like just a real reoccurring thing going on through this. And I think to the person who ends up wearing this or having it around for a while is going to be able to really appreciate that a lot more than somebody that maybe just catches a glimpse of the bracelet, which happens quite frequently. If you're like set up a stall to sell bracelets, people kind of peruse over it and just, you know, kind of maybe look at more of the colors or things like that. They might not notice the detail that goes into this, which is kind of a shame, because honestly I think the beauty of this one really is in the details. As far as the colors go, it kind of balanced out pretty well. I didn't have to go heavier on the purple to make it more of it. It just happens that I think the 2 colors that really dominate more is probably the orange and the red. The yellow seems to kind of pop up towards the center, a little bit down here in the edges, like what's getting knotted right there. But it seems like the red and the orange are the primary, and then the purple kind of gets dotted all over the place through this, so it turns out kind of neat. But yeah, it's a good looking bracelet. It takes time. It does. It really did take time. Like I kind of thought, because we doubled up the string, I'd be like, you know, done with this thing in no time. That did not happen. And I think part of that comes down to, and you'll probably notice me struggling to try to work out some kind of a nice way of segment knotting this. That doesn't really happen much in this whole bracelet, because it's just really difficult to do that. It doesn't lend itself well to it. Some patterns you almost can do nothing but segment it, and they go really super fast. This one, there's so many little intricacies going on and trying to keep track of where you are and not mess it up, it makes it a whole lot harder to kind of get that nice rhythm to it. But that said, I think that you can actually like watch what I do with this if you're, you know, trying to make it and you're trying to figure out like better directions. I think I do a pretty good job of segmenting it to the best of its ability. I don't know, that I guess that's debatable. There is probably room for some improvements here and there, but again, I was going from the pattern, and my biggest concern was simply not making mistakes. So I did what I could. Yeah, I kind of like this whole series that we're doing here, where I try to create a pattern out of thin air, and I suspect we'll do a couple more. Because patterns can be yours by doing exactly what I'm trying to show you. These are a bit different from like how I did it back in like the late 80s, early 90s. Back then I was just doing it like line up the string, come at it, go as random and as crazy as I wanted to. When I felt like I got to the halfway point, tried to reverse engineer everything I had already done by like maybe putting a diamond in the center, because that will reverse the strings, the order of the strings. So put a diamond in the center and then try to go back and make the two sides symmetrical again. That's a real serious like mental workout, and it was a lot of fun back then to try it out. And I can say this way is a lot easier because I'm doing it on the computer, and I can hit Control Z and back up and not have to worry about, you know, undoing knots or, you know, anything like that. Plus, I can also start in the middle and work my way up towards the end and know where my center is, because I've created a template based on my own bracelets, and I know how many knots there are, you know, that fit into it. This definitely makes it easier, a lot easier. And that's why I want to encourage you guys to try it. Now, mind you, the string I'm using is really thick, like thicker than DMC. So as a result, the number of knots from the very top first knot that you put in there to the center might be a different distance than what you're getting, especially if you are, say, using DMC. So when you work out a template, you have to adjust accordingly. I had somebody who asked me for a pattern, and I did everything in my power to, you know, figure it out and get it all set up and sent it to them. And, you know, they went to make it, and as a result, because they were using a different string, the bracelet seemed short, and they kind of wanted that center balance like I had it, and there is no real way of helping them to do that unless I redid out the whole pattern, knowing how many knots there are from the top to the center. So they ended up continuing on the bracelet, which I guess it turned out okay. It doesn't have that same symmetry. It still looked pretty cool, but it didn't have the symmetry, and that's the kind of stuff that would keep me up at night personally. Like, I really want my work to have that kind of level of, you know, the middle is the middle kind of thing. So yeah, just a kind of a heads up, like if you're looking at some of the patterns I've created, just know that I'm getting my string from China, and for whatever reason it's a little bit thicker, which I like because it's a little bit more durable that way. It's good, strong cotton string that I get at a decent price. If I was to try to buy DMC floss here in Singapore, it would cost me over $1 per skein. That means a little bracelet like what we're doing here would have been, let's see, 2, 4, 6, $8 just in string. There'd be a little bit left over of the string left over because because it's like each skein would have 1/3 of a skein left over from the 8. So there would be like a little bit of each of the colors left over. But that's still like, that's expensive. That's, you know, and I get it. Like, some people don't make that many bracelets in a year, you know, they're just making something for a friend, and you want to you spend $8-10 to make something nice for a friend. That's sweet, that's nice. But if you're gonna make a lot of bracelets and you really want to kind of get into this and have a lot of fun with it, that's gonna add up a lot. Seriously, that would get really, really expensive. Like, if you made as many bracelets as I make, you're probably talking hundreds of dollars, really, you know, each year. So yeah, I have to go with floss that's a little bit cheaper, and it's still good quality, so, you know. Oh, and I get it from AliExpress, in case you're wondering. You're trying to figure out, like, I'm not trying to be cryptic here. It's just, yeah, it's just from AliExpress. So that purple thing is the center of the bracelet. So before I forget, I want to thank my Patreon supporters and my YouTube members for making all this stuff possible. Without their help, I wouldn't have that much string to use. And yeah, I really do appreciate it, guys. And besides, YouTube members get to see behind the scenes of what I'm making. So if you're interested in kind of going behind the scenes, or maybe, you know, doing the hangouts at the beginning of the month, become a member. You know, it's a good way to help support the channel and keep me with strings, and it encourages me a lot. Like, honestly, I've considered at some point, like, do I really want to keep pushing on? Do I have what it takes to keep making, you know, more and more videos? And yeah, to have people say it's worth me paying $5 a month, or I guess it's $4 if you're in the United States. It's because currency exchange rates, whatever. But the willingness to help, you know, contribute something to the channel really pushes me to keep doing what I'm doing. And yeah, and I like what I do. I like making stuff. So there we go. It's a good fit. In fact, I wake up pretty much every morning and, like, what am I making today? And I get a little excited about the putting stuff together. So and today was no exception. Today I was looking forward to making this. And yeah, it is. So I used the same 4 colors as I was doing with the other neon things. I just didn't use neon strings, and so you can kind of tell there's a difference. It doesn't have that glow to it. It doesn't, you know, reflect the light in the same kind of way or whatever. It's just the same 4 colors, just different. So but I have to say, I like it. I think it turned out just as cool. And I'm not going to do the same 4 colors for the whole month. That's not happening, just in case you're wondering. It's just something I wanted to try. I thought it'd be fun. The whole time I'm making this, I'm like thinking of all these like clever things that I should tell you guys. And then it comes time for me to record, to, you know, say what I did. And my mind goes blank, and I don't know if that's ADHD or what, but I'm sure there was some other things I wanted to tell you about, but I can't think of it. Oh, if you try to make these things yourself, like any of my patterns, really, I'd like you to share it with me. You know, just, you can do it through Instagram or Discord. Just kind of curious, like, if you guys try out these patterns, maybe use different colors. So I'd like to see that. I think that would be nice. You know, it's another way of encouraging me, right? Is to show me that you guys actually do like the work, and that you're willing to make it yourself. So yeah, we have like works in progress and finished ones and that kind of stuff over in Discord. Not a lot of people contributing, but occasionally it happens, so that's nice. I think we don't have a whole lot of this left. Because like this purple that's coming in now. Yeah, the yellow diamond. Yeah, this is getting towards the end. This is cool. I definitely appreciate you guys hanging out this long. You know, I know that sometimes I just kind of ramble and maybe that might get old. But if you're still here, thank you. Thank you very much. If you haven't already, maybe hit subscribe. Or you could hit that like button. Either of those two things will help my channel immensely, and I would really appreciate that. So, yeah. It's getting so close to the end. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Well, hopefully I'm inspiring you guys. That's my biggest thing, is I want to inspire you and I want to give you guys the tools. Oh, by the way, if you're looking for like the templates, they're all on my website, AKAAWOL.com, and you can get templates. They're like pretty long, so you can adjust it accordingly. All you have to use is a program like, well, I use GIMP because it's free. You could use Photoshop or any of the other things that are like Photoshop to be able to work out the template to your size. And then follow any one of my, I don't know, probably over 100 videos of me making patterns. So use one of those to see how to get started and make yourself a pattern and make something amazing. You can use it to, like, say, one of the other websites, you see a pattern over there, but you want to get it, you know, perfectly centered and balanced accordingly. You can use my templates, and basically, I think I have enough videos to show you how to plug that in yourself, and you can try out having your bracelets perfectly centered, so that way, like, you have like this stuff in the middle and work it out like that. So, and if you have any questions, let me know. I either have a video that already talks about it, or I'll make another. So that's always an option. Yeah, it's getting really, really close to the end. It's almost where it starts to do the chevron thing. Yeah. Anyways, this was a lot of fun, and I think I have an idea for the next one, so I'm kind of excited about doing that one as well. Yeah, see, that yellow is part of the chevron for the very end of it, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, any other questions and stuff, just leave it down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So yep. Trying to see like how long there is left now. Not much. All right, well, thank you again for hanging out this long, and as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.